Well, good morning. It's Pastor Andy here. We are going to continue our daily thread study, and we are going to look at Psalm 104 and the 24th through 34th verses of that psalm. This is a psalm, it's known as a creation psalm, and so because of that, I am outside, and I wish you could hear the birds that are singing here on the church property. Um, the traffic from the highway kind of ruins it, but God is so creative, and with every bird that I hear that flies around, each one is different and has its own song, and it just goes to prove how creative and wise and infinite our God is, and that feeds right into our common thread today, because it starts out there in the 24th verse. God, what a variety of things you have made. And I look around, and I couldn't come up with anything like this to create. Um, I I like to think I'm handy around the house. I have built many things out of wood and tables and stools, and I have built rooms in my house, and I have painted many things. But everything I do is only a copy of what someone else has already done. It's not original. But what God made was and is and continues to be 100% original. No one but God could create the things that He has created. And a lot of this psalm focuses on life in the sea. He says the sea is just teeming with life, and it is vast and wide, teeming with life of every kind, both large and small. And it just goes to show, he says in 34, in wisdom you have made them all, and they all depend upon God. And if you've ever been to an aquarium, you have seen some of the most unusual and weird looking creatures, like fish that lay on the bottom of the ocean and have two eyes on the same side of its head because the way it lays its life. Scientists may argue that's evolution. No, that's just God's creativity. There's octopus that they can change colors to blend in with their surrounding. And, I like to see the little things that God's made, like the seahorse, and how it just has these little, I don't know, they kind of look like a wing just down the center of its back, but it's more like a fin, and it just flutters and it ripples, and its tail is used to grip onto plants that it lives around. And the sea currents, they don't take it away, and it's just this itty bitty little thing. But it's dependent upon God for everything. The scripture here says that God sends them the food as they need it. And when God supplies that food, they gather it and they enjoy it. But everything that God has made and created, it's just a testimony of how wise and glorious and infinite He is. And the end of our passage in verse 31 through 34, it changes from speaking of nature to making it personal. And it says in 31, "May the glory of the Lord continue forever. The Lord takes pleasure in all things He has made. The earth trembles at His glance, the mountains smoke at His touch." But here, in verse 33, "I will sing to the Lord as long as I live. I will praise my God to my last breath. May all my thoughts be pleasing to Him, for I rejoice in the Lord. I will sing to the Lord as long as I live." We don't need anything. We don't need to do anything, but just look out the window. Go outside and you can see how marvelous God is, just by looking at His creation. But Scripture also tells us that those things are just good. When God created you and me, when he created man, he said, this is very good. If God can take care of all of creation, and all of creation depends upon him, how much more does he want to take care of us? So for that reason, I will sing praises to the Lord all the days of my life. I want to give God the glory for everything. The breath in my lungs is from God. So church, as you live your life and you look around, enjoy what God has made. Marvel in what God has made. He has made it out of his creativity as a testimony to the things he can do, a testimony to his infinite wisdom, and an expression of his creativity and his love for you. So as you take all of that in, sing a song of praise to him. No, it doesn't have to sound good. It may just be, like that tune you can carry in a bucket. That's the one I carry. But from your heart, sing praise, give praise and glory to God.